So we're all ready. We're getting ready to leave. Even though she's complaining right now, she's actually doing really good because we moved a little bit to adjust while to get ourselves into position so that Jason could put the car on. She's adjusting really well to RV life. But yeah, we're gonna go and meet up with people in the new camp spot, and we'll see y'all there.
It's the first time that Winter's actually ridden in the RV while it was moving. Last time that we moved the RV, Jen was driving Bruce's SUV behind it, so so far she seems like she doesn't really care. So she's still having a good time. Our cat was like that whenever we first got the RV too, but then he walked by the fridge and the fridge like sprang open whenever we turned a corner and it dumped a bunch of food on him. After that he was under the couch every time the generator or engine started, so that's one of the reasons we left him behind, because he had kind of like PTSD. Every time the rig would move he'd be terrified. So both of our pets before were a little skittish with the RV, and we really want to be careful with her and make sure that she doesn't have any cause to be afraid of it. So gonna be extra careful. You can tell that we don't move very often, and whenever we do, yeah, I've got to come up here and clean. Been neglecting a lot of stuff. Now that I have some time off of work, I gotta fix some things.
All right,
ready? Let's go.
We're ready. You ready, Winter? Winter's ready.
Put on my driving hat. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much. Air up the tag axle. The car should lock in whenever we move a little bit. Got some definite bumps to go through.
Doing so good.
Everything looks good. Check the car, check the bikes, check the load on top of the car. Here we go.
Was just way too bumpy. I had to put her on my lap. She seems to be doing all right. We should be there pretty soon.
Well, we relocated to where our friends are, kind of by A1 Mountain, outside of Flagstaff, off of the 40. We're quite a ways off the 40 by A1 Mountain. But yeah, there's a thunderstorm that came in, and it's really raining. The weather report says that it'll stop in 2 minutes. Let's see if it's accurate. But the bikes are getting washed, which they really needed, and the car is being washed, which it really needed. The RV is getting washed, which it really, really needed. But you can see Jimmy's rig over there. His channel is Wandering Jimmy. The SUV we wash all the time, but since we just towed it in here behind the rig, it was literally brown. I mean, you couldn't even see in through the windows. It was so bad. Now you can see that it's sort of oxidized purple again. And here's Jen and Winter, and Winter is doing really good. There's thunder and lightning, and she's not even really batting an eyelash. I mean, Jet would have been like cowering in fear and shaking, and we'd have to hold him.
Right, she's pretty fearless.
Yep, fearless puppy. But yeah, this is us having a good time. And the weather report said that the rain would stop within 2 minutes. It's a little over 2 minutes, but the sun's out, so that's one thing. Well, the rain let off for a second, and now it's hailing. Wow, it's really hailing. Glad you're not standing out there in this.
Good thing you moved the car before it started hailing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason went out in his trench coat and moved the car while it was like the rain.
Just pounding rain, but
yeah.
not hail.
Some weather we're having. But I don't know, there's something about weather like this I really enjoy. I enjoy being close to it.
Winter was worried about you.
Okay, baby. She's actually not really bothered.
No,
she
just
really
know where you went. She likes
yeah,
to be on the couch.
she's very underfoot with me. She's my little sweetheart.
Well, here we are at the new campsite, and we've been here for several days. Yesterday was Jen's birthday, so we went to Red Lobster and got the, what was it, the shrimp fest. So that was good. But 2 days ago, whenever some friends got here, we were hanging out at the fire and came back in around 10 or so to find that the refrigerator had stopped working. And I looked at my sensors and saw that it hadn't been working in over a day. So I had to do some work on it. I've still got some miscellaneous parts here. These heating elements for AC have been bad for a while, but I had new ones. But it's just, you know, we're always boondocking, so I never use the AC really. So I took it apart and saw that the cover to the Dinosaur Electronics replacement board that I have had coming off, and it was just laying down here. And I think that one of the rainstorms, it was hitting the sides so hard that it actually got the board wet and maybe caused it to fail. So the only choice that I had really was to put my new AC elements in here and wire them directly to AC for now. So it's going around the control board and just running all the time. The problem with that is that it uses about 500 watts, so the generator has to run like a lot of the day, because we don't have enough solar to power the fridge really. So I do have this Shelly One smart switch down here installed, so I can turn it on and off on a schedule. So I have it cycling on and off every 45 minutes now. But I've got to go to the property, and I have a spare control board there. So we're gonna see if the other control board will fix it. This is another one of the things that I got to help with the refrigerator. Whenever we leave the rig and we're off camping somewhere in the tents, These sensors, they're GoV thermometers that are connected to the cloud. I have one in the freezer, one in the fridge, one in the wet bay over there to see if the pipes are getting too cold whenever it's wintertime. And then I've also got our living room lights on here too because they're GoV. But these will tell me whenever the temperature is out of range. So whenever it's red up here, that's whenever it would alert. And for whatever reason on my phone, it wasn't alerting me. So that's why I didn't know that it was bad for a day and a half. Whenever I turned on my iPad, that was alerting me every like 10 minutes. But otherwise, I was kind of in the dark. But you can see right here that a couple of days ago, whenever it quit working, for a whole day, it just went up to like 64 degrees. And then the freezer was all the way up to 46 degrees. So that's a no good. And I figure since I'm going back to the property anyway to get this control board, I may as well get some water. It may be weird, my friends think it's weird, but I travel with all empty tanks so that I don't stress the transmission on the rig as much as I could. So whenever I get to my destination, I go get water. Just heading out to the property to get my refrigerator parts and grab some water from the water store there. And this is a camp that's by us. They're pretty quiet people. Good neighbors generally. I'm going to go the back way along Forest Road 222. This is A1 Mountain, which around Flagstaff, the nomad people really know about this one. So, and then I think over there are the San Francisco Peaks. So I'm on Forest Road 518. This is one of the ways that we got in here, but now it's shorter to go in from the 40, but originally we came in from the 180 just to do some exploring. But you can see up here where this road will meet, I think that's 222. So I'm gonna go out to the 180. Here's one of several shooting ranges that you come across in here. Made into like one of these little cinder cups. I don't know if they took cinders from here and made it into this depression or if it's actually like a vent from a volcano. I don't know. But there's at least 3 or 4 of these around in here that you run into. As I get closer to the 180, there's more and more rigs. Some of them are really deep in there. But yeah, there's a lot of campers over here. Pretty constant traffic on this road too. Something's going on at the Nordic Village. There's a lot of people here. Both sides of the road. Wow, never seen this many people up here. Oh, I'm back at the property. Got some odds and ends and my part for the refrigerator. It looks like we've got rain over there, rain over there, rain over there, and over there. I'm gonna go back over there where it's nice and cool. Oh, got like 55 gallons of water. I'm gonna head back. Looks like we might be getting a little bit of rain on the way back. Yep, I was right, rain. It's coming down all over the place over here. Whoa! I don't know what that was, but hitting it did not help it. Crazy amounts of rain right now. I'm going to actually pull off because I was hydroplaning right after that last clip. Yeah, I pulled over into the Watchable Wildlife Trail to kind of wait this out. I was going up one of the steeper hills coming up on the 180, and I was only going 30-35 anyway in lower gear, and so much water was sluicing down the road that I could feel the car like moving side to side on me. So I noticed that there was a truck coming the other way that was pulled over, so me and another car that was behind me pulled over, so it got a little bit lighter, but there's still people pulling into here. Alright, so through this pounding rain and pulling over back there and everything, I was just kind of relaxing, running the radio, and I have a subwoofer underneath the passenger seat. And all of a sudden, like, the windshield wipers started going really slow after I got out onto the main road, and I noticed that my airbag light came on, and the temperature gauge for the motor went down to about a quarter of the way between half and cold. And everything, and also the blower motor for the air conditioning was going really slow, and I was like, there's something wrong. So I pulled off onto this dirt road that takes me back to camp eventually, and I called Bruce, and he's gonna head this way in case I get stuck, and I guess we'll take it from there. So whenever I took the emergency brake off, then the headlights on this come on because it's got daytime running lamps, and I could hear the DTR relay in the dashboard clicking, and now the airbag light is on again. So I think what I'm having here is that something's wrong with the charging system, and I'm gradually running out of battery power. I hope it makes it back to camp so I can work on it, but if not, then I guess Bruce is going to meet me, and we may have to go get a battery or something. I don't know. Battery's pretty much brand new. We got it in Vegas last year. So I guess we'll see how it goes. I mean, the gauge in the back that I have on my accessory ports that I installed back there said that I had 9.5 volts, which is probably enough to run the engine, but not a whole lot else. So I'm still chugging away. I remembered that if I put the emergency brake on like one notch, it won't actually engage the rear brakes yet, but it will turn off the daytime running lamps. So at least I got that. And I'm still cruising along. I wiped the rain off the windshield a couple of times, but I'm kind of afraid to even do that now. So it's a good thing that I have Rain-X on here so I can still kind of see. Through all the little water droplets. But the airbag light is back on again. It had gone off for a little while whenever I had sat there and revved the engine for a bit. It seemed like it got just enough voltage up to where the airbag light went off. But then whenever I turned the windshield wipers on, it came back on again. So, yeah. So the good news is that Bruce met up with me, and now he's behind me, trailing me. He says that we should bet whether or not the battery will make it back to camp before the engine can't run anymore. So I'm really hoping it makes it all the way back. Hey, I made it back. So it looks like I win that one. And I can't even see the dashboard lights anymore, so my guess is I've got even less than 9 volts now. Yep, I hit the key after I shut it off and it won't even click. So it's very dead. But at least I made it home. So we've been having a lot of interesting stuff happen lately. Then I got back, was working on the refrigerator, and I had a beer that I had opened like yesterday or the day before that I had just forgotten about. So it was in the fridge, and I was like, I'll drink this beer while I'm working on the refrigerator. I picked it up to take a swig, and there must have been a yellow jacket in the beer, and it stung my tongue. So now I have like a really painful swelling bite on the very back of my tongue, right before.
Right, which is not good
throat.
because if his throat swells up, we're gonna have to go to the doctors.
Which will be fun because our car doesn't work.
Right.
So.
But yeah, I read up on it. They recommended an antihistamine and just eating a lot of ice.
Yeah, so I took an antihistamine and I've got an ice cube that I'm going to be sucking on. And yeah, it's been a day. It's definitely been a couple of days where a lot of stuff have gone wrong. But you know, sometimes that happens. So.
Right, you're just getting it out of the way with.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Plus, to top it all off, I had to spit out my beer. So now I don't have a beer.
Well, you definitely can't drink beer now that you got stung by a bee.
That's what Jen was saying, yeah. So no more alcohol for me ever. But yeah, I remember whenever I was a kid, we were at a barbecue and I took a swig of soda that had a yellow jacket in it, but it didn't bite me that time. It was just the uncomfortable moment of realizing that I had an insect in my mouth. Spit it back out again. That one was nice enough not to bite me. This one totally bit me. Not cool, man.
Sorry that happened, sweetie.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But on the plus side, troubleshooting the refrigerator, I found that it seems that the thermocoupler, which is like a electronic gizmo that goes above the flame that detects whether or not the flame is on, that seems to be the problem. So now I have to get a new one of those. So yeah, I think I can probably fix the fridge, but it won't be until tomorrow.
Alright, so we're just going to pay attention and make sure no throat swelling happens, and hopefully there isn't any of that.
Yeah, hopefully there won't be any throat swelling. Hopefully I won't have to go to the emergency. And hopefully Winter will behave. Right? You gonna behave? Nope. She's totally not gonna behave.
Right. She enjoys this camera muff too much now.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny puppy. We've got birds using our dirty, puddly tarp as a bird bath. Makes me really want to go out there and like clean all the mud off of it so that at least they'll get clean. It's raining a lot lately though. It never gets dry completely before it rains again. So this is what we're struggling with right now, besides having crazy puppies, is, oh, are you trying to take apart my pants again? No? Yes, you totally were. So with the thermocouple on the fridge, that's not working right. It can't tell whenever the flame's lit, so it continuously tries to light it. We're having to run our fridge on AC all the time, which means we have to charge the batteries all day and then run the fridge all night. And usually we start out at like, whenever we go to bed, it's at like 65% is what we have left. And then we have to wait until 7 or 8, well, usually 8 or 9 is what we want, before we start again. But the batteries are at 5%, which is crazy. We never let them get that low. Winter.
Ah! Ah!
This graph right here is showing the last couple of days of generator usage. So the green lines are whenever the generator was running, charging the batteries. So we're relying mostly on the generator here. The orangish lines that you can barely see are solar. Usually all of our power comes from solar, but it's so cloudy and rainy right now with the monsoon season. It's really a terrible time for the refrigerator to do this. But at least our batteries are still going strong, so that's good. And this graph shows using the refrigerator on AC power. It uses about 400 watts. The rest of it is charging the car's battery and stuff. PV charger is the solar, and it's only getting about 150. And this is whenever it's in the negative, which I have to adjust the panels. But I have a 200 watt array that we use whenever we're camping that I have wired up also. So it's usually powering all the DC stuff and also charging the battery a little bit too. So all in all, we have about 1400 watts of solar that we use, and it's getting not much because of the clouds and stuff. All right, so I've got my replacement part, which is very different than the original one, but it's the only one that anybody has. So this is the original one, and I took the little bracket off and lost it immediately. There it is. And to my surprise, there's a slot, so I don't even have to tear the burner apart to get it out. That makes me very happy. I can just pull it right out the side. Should be quick and easy. And then I just have to figure out how to make the very different part fit this. Alright, so this seems to be the problem with this new one. The thermocouple itself is this part, and that's the same pretty much between the old one and the new one. But the old one, the tube had the wires like right on the end here, so they were able to go around the this piece here, which is the solenoid that opens and closes the gas valve. So it goes like right here, and then those have to go around this thing. The new one has those wires connected way over here, and I believe this is like a heat pipe of some kind, so I think it's hollow, and it came with a kink in it, but I don't know if I can put a tight bend in it right here without it making it not work right, because heat pipes usually need to they have like a substance in them that conducts heat. So I believe if I have a sharp angle and I pinch it, that it will make it not work right. But I guess we'll see, because the original one definitely isn't working. The whole end is missing from it, which I've seen lots of people online where that happens. It basically just burns and falls off. So we shall see. Alright, well, I forgot to film it, but basically what I did is I had to put this piece back on again. I'll take it off to show you. This whole thing just fits weird. It's like it's all scrunched up together. But you can see the that heat pipe that I was talking about earlier with the wires on it going up right here and going around, and then this is the two wires that come out of that, and then those are wired to the control board. This is just kind of on here half-assed for right now because it's getting ready to storm again, and I gotta get this all patched up, but it is working. I blew the flame out a couple of times, and it immediately started back up again, which that means that the control board realizes that there's no flame, so it reignites it. So it's working, which is awesome, because I'm not sure if it's because these were off or not, But the fridge does not work very well on AC power only. It just works better on gas. I mean, for example, the freezer gets down to like 26 degrees Fahrenheit on AC, but it gets down to like 19 on LP gas, and the fridge itself gets down to like 40 on LP gas, but it only gets down to 46 or so on AC power. So I remember from whenever we were in RV parks before that the fridge seemed to work pretty good, and then got to where it didn't work as well, and that's apparently because we started boondocking. It works better on LP gas. So it's the next day. We just had more rain, and there's some cows in the field out there, which is cool. I kind of would rather that they were elk. I mean, nothing against cows, but I'm so used to cows now. So we got the fridge fixed, and also the car magically works again today. I've still got it charging to top off the battery, but earlier I went and started it up, and it went up to 14.8 volts with it running, so the alternator is working again. My guess is it's a bad ground. I think that probably going through all that water, it shorted out of ground, because these old cars have, they use the chassis, the frame as ground, and it's kind of problematic sometimes. So if you have sporadic issues where things just stop working and then start again, you should probably just, you know, change all your grounds out and make a new ground panel and wire all the grounds into it instead of using the frame. Make it a little bit more reliable. At least that's what friend Mars told me. He's an engineer guy. So yeah, fridge is working, car's working. The sun's out for now, up there somewhere. We got cows and birds. This morning my tongue wasn't sore anymore, so I didn't die during the night, and my tongue didn't fall off. So, you know, we're grateful for everything today. I was just telling Jen, I was like, all the times that we walked by and I heard the burner on the fridge going, and I just thought, oh, the fridge is running. I was never really grateful. Every time that I drove the car around and it magically just worked all the time, I kind of took that for granted too. We all take a lot of stuff for granted, but whenever bad stuff happens, you have to just kind of think and appreciate all the times whenever the bad stuff doesn't happen. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.